Hi, I'm Symphoneers, and today we're doing something a little bit different. Frank Karsten's Metagame Mentor article came out this morning, which has like a bunch of kind of aggregate competitive decks, like combined decks of a bunch of different versions of things. And the one that stood out to me among the top contenders was Gruul Prowess. We don't see a lot of this on Arena, at least not since rotation. And it stood out to me as being a kind of more interesting or more compellingly built version of like mono-red-ish prowess than the fling variant that's really common on the ladder right now. So this is pretty consistent with versions of this deck we've had in the past. We have a handful of prowess threats with like Swift Spear and Slickshot Show-Off being key ones that have survived rotation. The list is also playing 2 Fugitive Codebreakers just as another Prowess 2-drop. We have new mice in the form of a full play set of Emberheart Challengers, 2/2 Haste Prowess, and whenever it's the target of spells or abilities for the first time each turn, you can Impulse Draw a card until the end of turn. And Gruul Prowess in particular is really well positioned to leverage that because we are playing things like Might of the Meek, which we want to be targeting our own mice with, ideally our own creatures, as well as Audacity and Royal Treatment and Monstrous Rage. Like, we have a lot of stuff that can do the Valiant thing for Emberheart Challenger in this list. So that's nice. Aside from Emberheart Challenger, we have Heartfire Hero, just the good little mouse that, you know, can grow up to be a 4/4 or whatever and kills the opponent when it dies because it, you know, deals 4 to them. Yeah, mouse get big and strong. Aside from that stuff, we do have a playset of Shocks, just as nice efficient burn. I already mentioned the trample stuff. Yeah, we do use Royal Treatment over something like Snakeskin Veil, just so we can get a little bit of additional value out of the ward on the Royal Roll token. The mana is particular, or this is one of the parts of the deck that I am the most nervous about, just because we're playing a full playset of Thran portals, and these things will deal a lot of damage to you pretty quickly. So this is a deck that is very much intending to just race the opponent and evaporate them. Turn them into a mist-like or soup-like homogenate. I think that's what Cameron Lauder usually says. In the sideboard, we have 3 Urabrask's Forages, just as these are primarily a response to removal-heavy or like control decks, because they produce a body each turn and it can kind of outpace or outstrip spot removal in particular. And with Farewell no longer being in the format, there's less kind of incidental like, haha, your forage gets got for free. So that's nice. We are running a 3 Pick Your Poisons in the list. These are just nice kind of flexible, efficient removal for artifacts, enchantments, or creatures with flying. Just the most efficient version of the kind of like flexible limited card that is good enough to make it into this list. Tectonic Hazard is the 1 damage sweeper that has survived rotation, and I would assume it's in here mostly as a response to like Boris Convoke or any kind of go wide, low toughness strategy that opponents might play. We also have 3 Witch Stalker Frenzies, which are in here, I would assume mostly for Shieldred, or whatever, just like big 5 toughness thing that is a problem for just swinging through on the ground with our little prowess things. Aside from that stuff, there are 2 Obliterating Bolts, which are helpful for dealing with like Preacher of the Schism or whatever, higher toughness stuff that you might not necessarily, or just like another thing we can board in alongside the Witch Stalker Frenzies for dealing with things that have less than 5 toughness, obviously. And there is a 1 of Koth that I can't actually hover properly because Arena's UI is a joy, but just know that Koth is in here and is providing emotional support. Thanks, Koth. That is more or less the deck. If you like the deck tech and like the video, like, subscribe, etc. In the description below there will be various links to like Twitch, Patreon. I have a card trader link you can use for buying cards. There is also a coffee if you want to do a one-off donation. Maybe click some of those. This is nice. It helps the channel. All that rambling out of the way, let's get on to some actual gameplay. we would like to be on the play. It's a good way to win games of Magic. This has less creatures and more lands than I would like. But I don't think it's quite bad enough to mulligan. In particular, just like early Heartfire Hero plus a Monstrous Rage seems neat. It seems cool and good. Monastery Swiftspear from the opponent. Ooh, okay. We have some nice options here. I would like to Monstrous Rage the Heartfire Hero and simply shock the... Okay? That was fast. I would... Did they just keep a bad hand or something? Anyway, so we're versus, I think, mono red. It might be like the fling version of the deck or whatever. Most of these options are slow. We could maybe run like a little bit less protection or something and attack into a little bit more removal. I don't know if I love that. Just because, yeah, they will have, you know, shocks and lightning strikes or whatever that we want to defend against with the royal treatment, even if they're not playing a dedicated control strategy. Witchstalker's Frenzy also might be helpful. It's like that, or... Actually, I do like the Obliterating Bolts. The more that I think about it, mostly because I'm expecting them to also be playing Heartfire Heroes. And when they die, they deal damage to us, so having something that exiles seems good. The way I'm going to do that is, yeah, trim one of the royal treatments, one of the shocks. So we go down on protection just a little bit, and then we also swap our removal suite around just a little bit to, yeah, respect what they're playing. It has been a hot minute since I've played Best of 3, so I'm like remembering how to sideboard on the fly, kind of. This hand is okay. It's a little bit slow maybe, or like a 1-drop creature would be nice, but good 2-drops, good spells or like interaction and so on, so, you know. Swifty, doing stuff. Just Copperline Gorge vibe. Swifty continues to go vroom vroom. We get hit for 1. I just want to oblit the Swifty? They could have enough, like, pump and stuff that... Oh, no? Okay. Pardon? That's a real me card. Okay, so this is like, this is something. I always want to put Grabby Giant in decks because that's mine is really close to being Strike It Rich, and that's an important Storm thing, but I never make the jump. I never make the leap to actually do it, because I'm a coward. Yeah, no, I don't know. Hit them with the Codebreaker. We do the Codebreaker there over the Emberheart Challenger because we want to maybe like get a land or something off of the Emberheart Challenger's Valiant effect. Okay, that happens, we take 2. I say, I guess we can still do that here. Like, Emberheart Challenger, just do this, push damage. Grand Portal, okay, so we would be playing a tapped land anyway, do this on red, hit them for 6. Feeling okay. Little bit, Emberheart Challenger survives the turn cycle, so that's something. We do go to 10. Okay, Swift Spear. Swift Spear is going to be helpful. I guess, let's lead with Might of the Meek, or do this at sorcery speed in case we hit sorcery speed stuff. All of that we can do post-combat, if there in fact is a post-combat. So, to blockers. Yeah. I have not thought through the math at all. Let's see how it works out. We have lethal. So that's nice. Very quick best of 3 there. Good games to the opponent. Play first. Okay. Keep one creature questing druid start is a little thin. Maybe I'm supposed to lead with red just so we can Might of the Meek a starting creature or something. We can be fully So the thing I was thinking of doing is just like hold up the Seek the Beast adventure, but we can play Heartfire Hero Royal Treatment if they try to remove it. That also helps grow the Heartfire Hero. There's very little removal in Standard right now that can actually hit the Heartfire Hero. On 1 mana with those lands. I don't hate doing this just as a way to get the Heartfire Hero to 3/3. And hey, we draw a Swift Spear. That's a little bit weird here. Might of the Meek to try and draw cards Audacity. Oh my. Big Mouse. So we take them to 13. The mouse is now a 6/4, so if they don't specifically... yeah. Temporary Lockdown. My favorite card in Standard, and not at all something I'd really consider to be a problem. No, I just don't like Exile Sweepers, I think, in general. I thought it was just a farewell thing. Or I guess, yeah, any Exile Sweeper that can hit multiple permanent types, I think, is, like, not a great thing for the game. Just in terms of the available counterplay and yada yada yada, we don't need to go super deep into this right now. Anyway, Seek the Beast, they 3 steps ahead the Seek the Beast, so the lad goes bye-bye. Let's Heartfire Hero, because once again we can Royal Treatment stuff. Hey, Littlest Cabbage. Yeah, Farewell is certainly a higher power, or like, it's a bigger problem in a real way. But Temporary Lockdown is just kind of like baby Farewell in a way that I find frustrating. We do this again. Again, that might be like wrong question mark, or, you know, iffy. We can't actually double spell here, which is weird. I think we just do this. With the Slickshot Show Off. Kind of wish I don't even know if wishing we drew a 3rd land is quite right. Yeah, 3rd land would maybe help with just like sequencing and stuff. Another Temporary Lockdown. Okay. Slickshot Show Off, because that's what they know is coming. Yeah, 3 steps ahead on that. Then we do this. Neither of these is going to kill them. I think I would like to Might of the Meek because of card advantage. Opponent goes to 8. Wonderful gameplay. Yeah, part of the frustration, or the part of an identifier of a sweeper being kind of a problem to me is like when you can treat the sweeper as spot removal, when it's that good, that clean, that efficient, that it's like, yeah, doing it for 1 creature is a fine thing that I will do multiple times. That's like, a little sus. Okay. Well. Just vibe. Yeah, the Silver Scrutiny was, like, not great. Maybe I'm supposed to try... There were 1 or 2 turns where I could have played a little bit more aggressively. And it's like, maybe I'm supposed to go for that, but again, like, Exile Sweepers mean that the Heartfire Hero text doesn't get to be relevant in a kind of big way. So I think our counterplay in this game, or like our ability to pivot to different options, is pretty limited. We're quite close to scooping. We needed to draw another creature at some point in here. Well, Questing Druid is neat. Silver Scrutiny for 3 is less neat. The thing that is relevant to us here, or the thing that we want to do, is just try to seek the beast to have a better chance of actually winning. Which is to say, like, if we Questing Druid on the prior turn and just kind of lean on only that, our ability to push damage becomes really limited. Boy, this is a thing, huh? So, Swift Spear. Next attack. Monstrous Rage. Show them the barrel of a gun. Monstrous Rage. Can you still hold that spot removal, opponent? Royal Treatment. Yeah, they have multiples. The downside of letting them draw 3 multiple times, or letting a control deck draw 3. Me just staring at the temporary lockdowns like, I think if they kill this, we can scoop out of this first game, or like, we did a good effort. We made them have multiple pieces of spot removal. Playing it out past here is, like, not productive. Playing it out past, like, it... Okay, so we're doing this. Yeah, they go up to 15, mights happen. Well, that was awkward. The shocks do almost nothing here. They didn't show us any planeswalkers or anything, and yeah, the ability to push, or our ability to push damage with shocks seems poor. Pick your poisons, probably a good way to deal with the temporary lockdowns, or like that's one way we have to deal with them. So I think, yeah, we want creatures for pushing damage, the forges for working through removal and stuff and hitting a thing that's not going to get locked down. Lockdowns make Audacity worse, or like a lot more awkward, so maybe that's part of it. Or I think we maybe trim like one of those for another pick your poison. I'm just wondering how much we want to index on, like, the forges and pick your poisons over just threats and removal and so on. I think I'm... 2 of them plus some forges and stuff are good. I'm glad you're enjoying Best of 3, Littlest Cabbage. It's been a minute. It's nice to have a Best of 3 deck, or like to not have to build an entire Best of 3 deck, or like to kind of lean on other people's work. Just because fully, like, making a good competitive Best of 3 deck can be a lift. Especially if you're trying to do like a video a day or whatever as a single person with no outside editor. I'm taking a hot minute here to do stuff. Staring at things. I think maybe we also trimmed the audacity for Koth. I don't know if that's totally right, just another, like a Koth is another thing in addition to the Forges that gives us some ability to win through long games. Very much just sort of working through that stuff as we go. Play first. Risk it. We have no green mana, so that's awkward. But we do have 2 Emberheart Challengers that can help us draw green mana. And, yeah, our hand is broadly functional without the green mana. And we'll either draw, like, lands and an Urabrask's Forge or something, or we might draw, just like a forest. Okay. Well, that gives us really clear incentives in terms of what to do that turn, so that's nice. We hit them for 9. Are they going to kill my mouse? They're absolutely going to kill my mouse. How do we want to do stuff? We can sorcery speed the Monstrous Rage. I think this might be useful. Just because if they slow roll... Okay, they don't. But we do hit... Awkward. Just fire this off so we don't lose the creature? Not 100% convinced I'm playing this perfectly. The decision to work with the 1-color keep is certainly something. Or like certainly something I imagine folks will have opinions on. Emberheart Challenger, Might of the Meek. We die here, yeah, get lost. Land. So that's something. Do the Heartfire Hero just to use our mana? Our ability to pace out threats is a little bit awkward. The map tokens are actually helpful in that they're a Valiant trigger, although the mouse gets murdered. So that's awkward. Copperline Gorge. Play out the Druid. Do stuff. Slick shot, show off, clap, 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 clap. Opinion on keeping a 1-color hand is YOLO. Yeah, that's kind of the thing. Oh yeah, they can shuffle away the show off. Actually, sorry. Decline. That's an option too. To just let that be a, why is my brain entirely empty? Not a field... Wow. You know, a thing with a thing. It is... Stone Rain is definitely the thing. I'm trying to think of the... Why can't I think of the actual land that does stuff? The actual just like, you know, land that destroys a land. Sorry, this is nothing. Oh, it's only Demolition Field in May. That's kind of interesting. Anyway. Our options here, a little fiddly. Fugitive Codebreaker, hi. So we can hit them for 5 here. Or rather 6 with the royal treatment. I think we want to hold up the royal treatment to try to insulate it from spot removal. If they do, like, a sweeper here, that's a thing. Sinkhole? This is horrible. All the boomers in YouTube comments or whatever are just going to be, you know, losing their mind. Beza, hi. Big Bear. Haste the Codebreaker. Or like we do this thing. We explore on the Codebreaker. Pick your poison, we stick in the graveyard. And we do an attack. Because if they don't block the Questing Druid, we get to murder them. They do in fact block the Questing Druid. I don't think there's a lot of value in burning the royal treatment here. Here's sorcery speed. Sunfall, yay! Isn't Sunfall fun? Slick shot show off. Clap, clap, cluck a clap. Next. Attack. Stuff happens. +2. We get up to 4. Hey, we get there! Despite, you know, working through Sunfall and stuff, or all that happening, we do, in fact, do a murder. And that's neat. Yeah. I was nervous. That was feeling really like the first game to me in terms of just like, okay, they have the answer, and they have the answer again. I think I'm happy with the sideboarding and stuff, taking a second just to like stare at things and go. Yeah, didn't really feel like, I guess a bit of reach from shock or something would be nice, but I don't necessarily want to trim down on the other stuff, so yeah. I guess theoretically the tectonic hazards could help us not die to mites, but that feels like teching for a fail condition. So, yeah. I don't know. Not particularly expecting to win being on the draw here. Just going off of how this prior games went and the fact that we were on the play for both of them. But maybe. I don't know. We have functional mana, a creature, an Urabrask's Forge, and some targety stuff. So that's neat. Being able to plot the slick shot show off with this hand is genuinely quite helpful. Like, we can delay it until we have protection from spot removal using the plot. And then, like, maybe we play out the Forge, but also on turn 3 if we draw lands and stuff, but also maybe we just don't. Or like we do, yeah, slick shot show off stuff. Deduce. Our opponent plays a Seachrome Coast and passes Thran Portal. We have two green sources already, and our deck is primarily red, so just do this. I think I like Slick Shot Show Off plus the other thing. Yeah, Yeah, if only the opponent mana screwed. Anyway. I think I want to delay the Emberheart Challenger a little bit, just to try and get to a point where we're more comfortable, or like where we can play land off of the effect. How greedy do we want to be? Medium greedy? Medium greedy. Targeting the Fugitive Codebreaker because it's the lower value creature. Part of the thought with doing this here and not holding up the royal treatment is that we're pretty soft right now to a temporary lockdown. So, if we're developing to the board the way we are, we might as well try to, like, get cards, do stuff, apply pressure, lean into our position instead of playing afraid. And then on an upcoming turn, we can use the Monstrous Rage as card advantage. Yeah, there's the temporary lockdown. Ooh, let's get these forges ticking. Especially while they're tapped out and we know at least one of them is going to resolve. It's a nice. I think we go for both of the forges. Like, we could Emberheart Challenger do stuff on one of these turns, but I think, like, make them have counter magic or make them burn resources on doing this is not the worst. Would love to get a Pick Your Poison. Yeah, maybe we do just want the 3 Pick Your Poisons in this matchup. I was, like, hesitant to because, I don't know, they're a little bit niche, but the temporary lockdowns are just so bad for us. We would like to Emberheart Challenger. There are sequencing pros and cons with stuff. I think I'd like to play Mountain here to minimize some of those pros and cons. We attack all, go to blocks. They throw the 3/1 under the bus. I will kill the Beza here, or like, I think this is worth using a Monstrous Rage on. Okay. This is a little bit goofy, but I do think killing the Beza is just genuinely quite good for us. Push damage. No! Oh, pain. Okay. My Pick Your Poison. Wheeze. That's fine. Oh, hi, Koth. Do Koth post-combat, I think. Theoretically, we lose a little bit of damage. Doing this. But we also invite them to spend a bunch of resources. Yeah. So they're less likely to have any way to deal with Koth. I say is, okay, no, we do in fact get Koth.
There can be no victory.
So that's nice.
Retake this land
Koth
from Phyrexia.
can help us work towards a win con in the form. Do we hold this? I don't know. Let's play out one of the mountains. The thought with holding a mountain potentially just being that Koth's emblem deals a lot of damage to folks and is something that can't be counter-spelled. They do have a way to pressure Koth with the stupid Flappy Bird. They opt to try to dig for answers with the Deduce. Sorry, the stupid Flappy Bird being the Restless Anchorage. Uptick Koth. We do still have the Forge working for us too. So they have 2 problems to deal with. Lock Whale tucks the Phyrexian Horror, killing it effectively. End turn. We have so much mana for this deck, so yeah, I'm pretty comfortable holding at least this one mountain. Our opponent rereading Koth, maybe doing the Anchorage thing? Perhaps. Although that does limit their ability to defend against the still upticking Forge, unless they have... No, we get them! Ooh! Ooh! Oh my. I was, not confident in any of those games, but we do in fact win the best of 3 against the Azorius control opponent. Good games to the opponent. Anyway, play first. We're getting very lucky with winning the, coin flip things, which is, I don't know, nice. How do I compare it to Ancestral Anger? Might of the Meek for the YouTube video, versus Ancestral Anger. They're different. Like, Ancestral Anger is the cleaner, more aggressive card in some ways because the pump is larger, or it can scale up as the game goes on. But Might of the Meek is also just a better card with something like Heartfire Hero because it can trigger the Valiant on your opponent's turn. And that in itself is like useful and interesting. It can scale up Questing Druid on your opponent's turn. So it's like a very lateral shift in terms of how it functions in the deck. Yeah, no, it's very hard for a card like it to not be good, just because of how efficient it is. Anyway, none of, yeah. Carplucent Forest. Golgari. Questing Druid on their turn? Question mark? Or Seek the Beast, rather. Insidious Roots. They got them roots. Carplucent Forest. Amber Heart Challenger. Is that true? Never mind. Questing Druid. Might of the Meek? Questing Druid, Might of the Meek, because we're losing that this turn. Cash Grab. This is like so close to being Filfolio art, just emotionally, if nothing else. The Thran Portal on red. Kind of want to just plot the Slick Shot show off. This might be a little bit slow or passive or whatever, but the thing that I like here is it lets us hold up Royal Treatment for defending against spot removal. We can shock something if that seems relevant. We can Royal Treatment, or sorry, I said words. Yeah, I don't know. Just being able to shock or Royal Treatment here is, I think, decent. I don't think they're playing anything that would be a -2/-2, but if they do, or if they are for some reason, we could shock and defend against that just off of the Questing Druid's Grow. So that's neat. Insidious Roots number 2. I will greed here, or like I'll burn this on just making the Druid grow. They might have spot removal and decide that, like, while I'm tapped out is a good time to use it, but then that also lets us just, like, connect with the Slick Shot show off. So it's interesting, or like I don't think there's a particularly correct decision on their end anyway. Vibing, moisturized, in their lane, thriving. They opt to let it resolve. Okay. We have decisions to make. I think people in Arena often delay Slick Shot show-offs way too long. To the extent that it is a problem, or like they lose games. I think the thing we want to do here is apply a lot of pressure with the cards that we have. And then if this does not, like, kill them or whatever, we can do a second big swing with the backup Slick Shot Show-Off. And try to figure stuff out from there. We could do the Audacity here, like another Audacity on the Questing Druid to potentially punch through if they have a way to do root stuff at instant speed. I would assume that's how they defend. Yeah. Problem with that is just then we're shields down to spot removal, which they are maybe more likely to have, so. I think they're probably more likely to have, I can't off the top of my head. I guess I was gonna say I can't think of an instant speed roots trigger, but cash grab would be, instant speed roots trigger, so, you know. I was thinking about best of 3, there is at least a, match timer thing. We do impulse draw another royal treatment, which is interesting. We'll see what they... Cash grab, alright. We'll let this resolve anyway. Snorehound, Tyvar, Scornblade Berserker, sure, and a land. Go to blockers, maybe? We do this, sure. Don't hate shielding up the Slick Shot Show-Off. Like, this is a bit aggressive, but we hit them for 12. We have the backup Slick Shot Show-Off and the shock. And this gives this Slick Shot Show-Off ward. So on an upcoming turn, we can, like, defend the Emberheart Challenger with the Royal Treatment. Yeah. It's a good. How about those sportsmen? Opponent plays out a swamp. They tap their plant, which is concerning. Skyfisher Spider, sure. That's something that can block a Slick Shot Show-Off. They kill the Emberheart Challenger, which is sort of interesting, or like, yeah, draws us a card. I guess they just have other stuff they want. I would maybe play out the Snorehound just so you can block both things, because yeah, they are dead. Or no, sorry, yes. So this is the defense plan. That is okay. Slick Shot Show-Off, clap, 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 clap. Audacity on Moi Gigante Druid. Do this to shoot a blocker. And, violence. Or we're overkilling them pretty significantly here, but yeah. Just do all the stuff that we need to do pre-combat. Big spider. Merp. Just for fun, just for me. And we hit them for 17 and take them to -14. So that's neat. So this is a weird one. Tectonic Hazard will not handle the scaling plants very effectively. Obliterating Bolt is mid. It's like okay at dealing with the spiders, but we're not honestly that concerned about the spider's death trigger. We're like maybe a little bit more concerned about Tyvar, but Tyvar is going to almost always downtick, and Shock will be able to kill Tyvar, and it's 1 mana, so that's good. Yeah, I was just working from left to right. Pick your poison, or to skip to pick your poison. That's probably the most relevant sideboarding option. Just because an early pick your poison versus an early roots will kill them. Or Or like that will really set their deck back, although I'm not 100% what we cut versus or for pick your poison stuff. I liked the audacity in that matchup. The audacity felt nice for just trampling over things or ensuring that we could connect for damage through the chump blockers. So yeah, maybe we just take out some shocks for some pick your poisons. I don't know if we want to run 3. I think temporary lockdown, or like in the prior control matchup, I maybe should have done 3 because the temporary lockdowns are so critical. In this matchup, the roots are their primary game plan, but we can also punch through the roots to some extent, like we just won that game without any special stuff. To talk about this stuff, I maybe like a Forge over a Codebreaker, actually. Because I'm expecting them to sideboard into some more removal. Yeah, what if we just say Codebreaker's out for some Forges? Koth is, I think, too slow for this matchup, where it's better versus Control, and I think that covers all of the sideboarding. Or, yeah, we talking through stuff a lot. And, you know, that's the thing. Sure, good clean hand. Just, like, all of our colors of mana. 1-drop, 2-drop, pump spells. Seems solid. Just thinking if we want to Might of the Meek early. Or, like, try to prioritize that over, for example, playing out the Emberheart Challenger. Just because card draw good. Card draw gives you more options. But the Emberheart Challenger is also an advantage engine. So I think we do, yeah, just go like Swift Spear, then Challenger. Then this stuff. Our opponent took a mulligan. We will just keep. We'd maybe prefer to have like just 2 lands because our deck is very fast. But 3 is fine. 3 is like a normal threshold thing. We do draw another land. Little awkward. But anyway, chip in with the Swift Spear. Forest after the Blossoming Marsh, they got them roots. Emberheart Challenger. Bing bong, opponent to 16. I don't know why I said 16 weird there. 16. Underground Mortuary Surveils. Nothing. They keep it top. Second roots, question mark? Concerned about playing into a sweeper. That 3-mana sweeper rotated. The other one everyone plays is 5 or 6 mana. Just thinking about pacing out this challenger. What if we Monstrous Rage this Emberheart Challenger? Just a little bit, as a treat. Questing Druid. Well, well, well. Weird thing, okay. Attack? I guess we can do this just to, even if we immediately fizzle the draw, just to get the Druid into the Adventure Zone. Cash Grab. Cash Grab looking good for the Roots deck. Or it seems like a good bit of card selection for them. We do hit them for a lot. Take them to 6. Not sure what the big win for them here is, or like, if I'm just forgetting a 4-mana sweeper in black. They haven't printed a Doomsday or whatever in a long time, so I don't think I'm... No, my Might of the Meek. Keeping in a Duress versus a red deck seems a little odd to me, but... I don't know. Does stuff here, anyway, so... Pick your poison. Okay. Oh, alright then. Let's do this. Play out the Emberheart Challenger. Being fiddly with stuff. Each opponent sacrifices an enchantment. No creatures with flying, unfortunately, to help with pushing damage. Yeah, I think we just do a smash here. They trade for that one, they double block this Swift Spear so that they at least get the Swift Spear off the field and take 4. Sure. We block to kill the plant that we can kill. This is a weird board state. I think they're favored just because of the Skyfisher Spider. Like, they can sack the Snorehound to kill the Emberheart Challenger. Did we take out all the shocks? No, we still have another shock in the deck. So that's something. Okay. Well... I think we slow play this. Like, do the Seek the Beast on their turn thing. Hope that that gives us enough fuel to do a murder. There's a different line where we, like, Seek the Beast with this one and try to dig for, like, Haste Threat plus Prowess or something. But with the roots down, or, like, dealt with, I feel like that limits their ability to mount a solid defense. And we also get to do this and, like, get a counter on this Druid, which is maybe helpful. I don't know if we actually want to save this for our turn or not. We have enough mana that we can probably afford to save it. Okay, that's the way that is. We should... I'm going to manually tap this. Or maybe that's unnecessary, but... do this in case we hit sorcery speed stuff, I think. Where were you a second ago? We can get 2 things off the field here, although they can Agatha's Soul Cauldron, although they can keep Agatha's Soul Cauldroning, so... I don't know. Give me a second. Yeah, trample. Like, I guess. No, I don't. I don't think losing the questing druid here is particularly good and or worth it. The reason I'm doing the attack anyway is just because it constrains their options on upcoming turns, like they have to block with stuff here and spend resources defending. So the hope is that that just helps us maintain a position where we're in the lead or kind of maintaining pressure, even if this attack in itself is not, like, spectacular. And we don't do the Emberheart Challenger because that gives them too much room to just get value and stuff. Sure. I assume, yeah. They slurp a thing, counter on that. Heal a bit. Agatha's Soul Cauldron. Doing stuff as we flood. Green. No attacks. Listen, we're vibing. Moisturized, in our lane, thriving. The Soul Cauldron is bad for us, to be clear. But, I mean, like, neither of us is really doing great work here. Hey, Emberheart Challenger, give me a card. Okay. I'll take it. I think this is worth attacking through or for or whatever. Because, yeah, we can get the questing druid. Nice and big. They can do the Soul Cauldron thing here to eat the questing druid, although I don't know if that's... Maybe that's just fine for them. Yeah, so we just are both down to one creature. Roots. Roots top deck, probably quite good for them. Or yeah, our ability to close this out is rapidly diminishing. I probably don't get that much equity out of holding up the Thran portal at this point. Yeah, their ability to do root stuff scaling up very quickly. Can probably play it out for like another turn or two. But like our ability to push damage on the ground right now is bad. So the only way I think we win is like Heartfire Hero with a good pump spell or something. If the Thran portal was an actual card, that would help. We've kind of flooded this game, which is not ideal. Or like we've, you know, we're up on lands compared to a deck that is not a hyper aggro deck. Opponent does go down to 4. Okay. Flood. Yeah, really just thinking about the Heartfire Hero right now. I suppose a Questing Druid would be our best top deck. Like Questing Druid, Seek the Beast. Use the Seek the Beast to do some other stuff. That's game, right? Because if this is game if they attack, which they should. Because we don't survive combat and need to block with the Heartfire Hero, which is how we win. Sorry, are we dead anyway? Just do this, I guess, or like... block the gigantic thing. Soul Cauldron does stuff. Yeah, sure, we're dead. Okay. Rip just flooding out of that one. Pick Your Poison was good. I don't know that I necessarily want to go up on them, just because, yeah, a shock would have, like, a shock alone would have been helpful at spots in that game. Just run it back. I guess we could maybe trim into Urabrask's Forge, because long games, I mean, we did stall out there, so if we had drawn a Forge, we would have killed them. Like, with it ticking up, and it would have been a good way to break parity. during the awkward stalled out portion of that game, so yeah. Maybe was trading away the druids too aggressively. Anyway, play first. Keep 7. Hand good. Or it has 2 creatures and 2 things that target creatures, so, you know, we're into it. Heart Fire Hero. Clap, 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 clap. Swamp. And the Snorehound. I would like to plot the Slickshot Show Off, and no attacks. Maybe I'm supposed to just haste the Slickshot Show Off there, actually. They're not nearly as removal heavy as other builds of even just roots decks that I've seen, so there is an argument for just getting in with the point of damage if we don't expect the plotting to be doing any kind of relevant impacting of our opponent's sequencing. We do this. We do nothing else at sorcery speed, because we don't need to. Sorry, just, yeah, making sure I'm not punting. Trample, or Might of the Meek on the Heartfire hero. Okay. Just a royal treatment to push damage here. Take the opponent to 11. Hold up the other royal treatment. Purely defensively. Royal treatment's a little bit awkward. Or this is a spot where it not being like Snakeskin Veil and not being able to kind of stack power in quite the same way is a thing. Although I guess like Heartfire Hero does some of that for us in the counter whenever it gets targeted. Or land, great. Don't mind us having a repeat of last game. Snorehound blocks the Heartfire hero. To damage, you say? Here we are just patient with the royal treatment, or like it's not worth losing the Slickshot Show Off. I mean, we kind of want to keep the Heartfire hero too. Roots! Pick your poison about to do some work. I love to simply draw the sideboard card. Each opponent sacrifices an the words are hard, enchantment. If they have a cash grab or something, they should do it now. Or if they have removal or whatever, you know. Feed the Cycle. That's a great pickup for Roots decks. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to do what they want here. Yeah, Slickshot Show Off hits them for 1 billion damage, especially with Audacity. Or the Audacity can help the mouse trample through with a Roots blocker too, and our opponent is very dead there. That was a neat game, though, or an interesting one. We flag out, or like bleed pressure in game 2, but we're able to rally game 3 and to just do the, you know, Slickshot Show Off thing. Murder them. Good games to the opponent. Thank you for watching the video, and an extra big thank you to the Patreon patrons and YouTube members that help make these videos possible. Hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.